Month 3 on Wegovy. This was the first month on the full 2.4 dose of semaglutide, and honestly, I was hyped for it. Everywhere online, people kept saying that this is the magic one, right? Like, this is the dose where you suddenly can't finish a meal, food starts to taste weird, and the weight just starts flying off. So I went in thinking, cool, double the dose, double the results, right? Spoiler, that's not what happened. Because the first 2 weeks were rough. The sulfur burps came back, and not just occasionally, I mean consistently, they moved in. The fatigue really hit harder than ever, and it wasn't like a brain fog or anything, it was just overall, I felt drained, heavy, feeling like somebody turned the brightness down on my entire day, like no energy whatsoever. And my digestion slowed down too. And I'm gonna say it, everybody poops, and I was a daily pooper. But now it's like every other day, It's not like constipation or anything. It's more like, food sits around much longer in the stomach and it makes its way down much slower, and it takes longer than usual to actually get out. And at first, honestly, I thought, here I am getting all the side effects and none of the benefits. Because I wasn't suddenly eating less, I wasn't losing weight any faster, I was just tired and burpy. And at the gym, forget it. I had to lower the weights. My energy was so low that even basic sessions felt like a complete grind. And of course, that was due to the energy itself, but it just didn't feel right. But you push through because, well, that's what you gotta do. Then somewhere around week 3, things really started to shift. That's when the food noise started fading almost completely. Even in the last video, I mentioned that it's almost completely gone, but now it's like a whole different level of quiet in my head. I can go the entire day without thinking of food now, and that's really new for me. But here's the thing, you can still overeat. People online make it sound like, you physically can't, or like there's like this magical thing that stops you from putting the fork up or whatever. But yeah, you can still do it. And if you do it, you're definitely gonna pay for it. I should have learned this last month because it sort of happened then as well. But this time, oh my God, it was, not recommended. You get heartburn, you get the sulfur burps going into freaking overdrive, and that, heavy rock in your stomach feeling that you barely can move and you can't even shift yourself around. Yeah, don't overeat. So it's not that Wegovy makes overeating impossible, it just makes it that the consequences are actually immediate and uncomfortable, and that kind of teaches you like, okay, bad, no. I started realizing that I needed to relearn how to eat. That has been like the biggest part of this month. That has been like the focal point of the entire month. Let's talk about that learning curve, because that's where most of the growth actually happened. I still find it really easy to overeat, even on healthy food, which is, what? Like, I'll make a big plate of chicken, beans, and vegetables, and I'll finish it completely because, it's good food, it's good for you, right? It's fine. And then, of course, I feel horrible. Like, what is in my brain? One night I even made like green beans, a big healthy dinner, sat down to watch something, and just kept going. Like, I didn't even realize before the plate was over. Couldn't sleep, felt queasy, all the 9 yards. Then on another night, I realized I was way under protein for the day. Like, I didn't really eat a lot of protein. And I thought to myself, okay, I'll just have a quick shake. And then a little bit after, I had a protein bar. That was not smart. It's like the food just sits there in your stomach forever on this dose. Like, it's there a lot. And this was the month when I actually noticed that I am cooking way too much. I still cook portions like I'm feeding 2 hungry ass people, but my girlfriend eats so little, and then I feel bad for throwing the food away and I end up eating it myself. Because in my head, wasting food feels worse than overeating. That's how I was taught from a little kid. And that's something I'm really trying to unlearn. And funny enough, she's actually much better at this than me. She'll literally leave 2 bites on her plate and just be done. Meanwhile, I'm like, what are you doing? There's still food there. What? Now I'm starting to understand that leaving those bites is okay. That's actually the goal. You should stop when you're feeling full, regardless of what's on the plate. Then there's also the whole ping pong thing that happened. I had a lot of days where I actually underate without realizing, like 1600 or 1800 calories, and then the next day I was starving and I went to the gym and ended up, the body wanted more food and I ended up overeating. And by the end of the week, I guess technically it should sort of balance itself out and you get to like a normal level, but it's not a good way of going about it. Oh, and I really became the guy that actually really tracks fiber now, because yeah, everybody's obsessed on like protein, and I myself, I'm trying to hit the protein goal every day. I didn't realize, until this month how important fiber is, not only to keep you full, but actually to keep things going. 30 grams a day, that's like non-negotiable. I need to hit those 30 grams. More is better, less is a big no-no. And with fiber, of course, comes water and hydration. Like, if you don't drink enough water on this whole thing, I think your body will really let you know. So yeah, Wegovy really helps, but it's not doing the work for me. It just gives me a lot of quiet space, a lot of quiet mind space where I can take the time and build the habits that will keep it going in the long run. Now, weight-wise, this month was really slow. Only about 6 pounds down. And that brings me around, I think, a total of 18 since I started. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really disappointed at first too. You see people online losing 20 pounds a month on this dose, and you start wondering what the hell's wrong with you. But then I realized my body is changing in other ways. There's a whole body recomposition thing going on. My clothes fit a lot more differently. I went from a 7XL to a 6XL. I'm walking a lot further. I'm breathing a lot better when walking. I can actually hold a conversation. My endurance is way up. It's basically body recomposition. It's not just weight loss. I've gained some muscle, lost a lot of fat as well. But yeah, it's not visible on the actual scale. It's gonna take a while before the scale actually gets to the point where it shows the real thing there. It's much slower, but it's working. The trend is down, and yeah, it is what it is. And mentally, this month really did something very important for me. It gave me a level of confidence I really didn't expect. I used to think I needed 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day just to function, because that's kind of the maintenance level of calories. And now I know I don't. I don't know if that really makes sense. I can eat less, which is fine. I can function with less. It took away that fear from me, like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like if I eat 2,000 calories a day, that's like what, half, with like more than half of the maintenance calories, I'm just gonna die. And yeah, it is that big. It is that big of a deal for me. And moreover, I'm not constantly hungry. I'm not constantly obsessing over food anymore. And I don't really think about it as much. Before I started this, when I started the day, I was like, I wonder what I'm gonna eat today. What's on the agenda? What could I eat today? Yeah. That noise, yeah, that whole thing. It's like my mind finally has space to think about something else. And that makes me really excited about this. Not just, the number on the scale, but the actual mental quiet and the understanding that, yeah, I can really push this forward and I can see it working better going forward. And yeah, people have opinions. Some think it's a cheat code. Others say it's for lazy people, but I really don't care, because to me, this isn't a shortcut. It's a tool, because if you don't change the habits, you'll gain it all back when you're done. I've been overweight basically my entire adult life. So when people use this for like 5 vanity pounds before the summer, yeah, that kind of rubs me the wrong way, to be honest. But then again, I also understand that every single person's situation is different. And for me, Wegovy isn't necessarily a miracle, it's a support system. It gives me a fighting chance to build the habits that actually last. And again, each to their own. If you agree with this and you like this and you cheer me on or whatever, that's perfectly fine and I appreciate you for it. But if you disagree with this and you don't want to be using this or anything like that, that's fine too. There's place under the sun for everybody and everybody's opinion. So the plan going forward is to stay at 2.4 for a while. I've got to check in with my doctor soon, but I want to give this dose really time to settle. I want to get like at a baseline and understand what normal looks like before I start changing anything. And I mean, of course, I'll see if the doctor agrees with that. And we'll see, how well it progresses going forward. Because the goal is stability, steady energy, steady habits, smaller meals, cooking less, tracking better. And honestly, I think that's what month 4 will be all about. Letting my body and my life catch up to the dose and actually start to see a lot more progress where, I haven't seen yet. Because to me, this isn't just about weight loss, right? I mean, I mentioned this before, like I'm not just looking to lose weight and that's it. For me, it's about building something that lasts, building change that lasts, changing my entire lifestyle and implementing new habits, healthier habits that I can keep doing for the rest of my life, not just for a few months or years whilst I'm on this drug or whatever. And in some weird way, the weight loss will actually be a side effect, if you want, of those changes, of the lifestyle changes. So yeah, month 3, slower progress, more lessons, smaller portions, and a lot of silence in the brain. If you're on Wegovy, Ozempic, or any GLP-1, or that new one that's called that one, the tree one, you know, and your 3rd month really feels weird, same. You're not broken, nothing's wrong, you're just adjusting. But at the same time, you need to take a little bit of a step back and zoom out a little bit and see like, hey, what's going on, right? What's happening? Where am I dropping the ball? Is there a ball being dropped? Or is this, you know, just gonna take a little bit more time? And you gotta be honest with yourself. Like, I've been cutting corners. I've stopped weighing food, you know, and I started becoming too confident too fast, thinking that I can just eyeball things. And that's not good. But now I took a step back, I realized, you know, I adapted, and now moving forward, I know what I have to do. And I think month 4 is where things really start to settle in, and I hope to see a lot faster progress, or at least, you know, a steady, you know, down trajectory of the weight. So thank you so much for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next one. Chonk out.